Yes, good morning, dear students. Now, today I'm going to just continue your chapter which we were doing, and that chapter was The Chocolate Room, written by Roald Dahl. And now let's start with this paragraph. An important room, this, cried Mr. Willy Wonka as he took a bunch of keys from his pocket and slipped one into the keyhole of the door. He continued, "This is the nerve center of the whole factory, the heart of the whole business. I insist upon my rooms being beautiful. Let us go in then. But be careful, my dear children. Don't lose your heads and don't get overexcited. Be calm." Yes, now we'll talk about the difficult word in this particular paragraph, and the difficult word is this is nerve center. What do you mean by nerve center? The control center of an organization. Okay, now I'm just going to explain this paragraph, and in this paragraph, the Mr. Wonka opened the door with key and cried, "This is the main room under which everything is being controlled." He further said that this is the main room for whole factory, or it can be said that this is the heart of our business. Then Charlie told Wonka to show them their room where they have to stay. Then Mr. Wonka replied, "Not to be overexcited. We are just going to show you." Yes, now the next paragraph. As soon as Mr. Wonka opened the door, 5 children and others pushed their way in, and what an amazing sight greeted their eyes. They were looking down upon a lovely valley with green meadows on either side, and along the bottom of it flowed a great brown river. Halfway along the river was a big waterfall, a very steep cliff over which the water curled and rolled in a solid sheet. Then it went down into a boiling, churning whirlpool full of froth and spray. The most astonishing sight was just below the waterfall. About a dozen enormous glass pipes down were dangling down into the river from somewhere high up in the ceiling and sucking up the brownish muddy water from the river. Nobody could guess where they were carrying it to. Since the pipes were made of glass, you could see the liquid bubbling and flowing in the pipes. Above the noise of the gushing waterfall, the incessant sucking sound of the pipes could be clearly heard. Yes, now the difficult words in this particular paragraph are, yes, now in this you will see, first of all, yes, it is meadows. Meadows means a piece of grassland. The next word in this we have astonishing. Yes, the next word is astonishing, which means extremely surprisingly. Then we have another one, that is, it is dangling. Dangling means hanging. When something is hanging, And the next one is we have, yes, we have churning. The another word is churning. Churning means shaking and moving about vigorously. Then the whirlpool. Whirlpool means a quickly rotating mass of water. Here we can talk about chocolate in a river. Then another one is, yes, another one is froth. Froth means a mass of summer bubbles, small bubbles in liquid. And another one is curled. Curl means caused to form into a curved shape. When something is formed into a curved shape, that is known as curled. Okay, now we have another one word, that is enormous. Enormous means very large in size. When something is very big and large in size, that we call and that we say uh, yes, that word is called enormous. Now from this paragraph we have one more word. It is incessant. Incessant means continuing with pause. When something is going on, something is continue but with pause. So these are the difficult words from this paragraph. And now I'm going to explain this paragraph. Yes, children and their parents were shocked to see the room. As Mr. Wonka opened the door, they rushed into the room. They found valley over there with green meadows on both sides of it. Even one big waterfall was there, which was curled and rolled in solid sheet, which further came down into boiling and shaking mass of chocolate, which was full of bubbles and spray. One more exciting sight was there, that was just below the waterfall. There were big glass pipes hanging in the river, which was high up in the ceiling, and chocolate water is sucked up from the river, and nobody could guess where it was carrying. Anyone could listen the sucking sound of the pipes besides loud noise of waterfall. Now, the next paragraph. Graceful trees and bushes grew along the river banks. There were weeping willows and alders and tall clumps of rhododendrons with their lovely pink and red and mauve blossoms. In the meadows there were thousands of buttercups that grew. Mr. Wonka suddenly began to dance up and down and pointed his gold-topped cane at the great brown river as he cried, "Look there! All that is chocolate. Every drop of that river is hot melted chocolate of the very finest quality. There is enough chocolate is there to fill every bathtub in this entire country as well as all the swimming pools. Don't you think it is terrific? The pipes suck up the chocolate and carry it to the other rooms in the factory where it is needed. Thousands of gallons an hour is carried, my dear children." The children and their parents were absolutely amazed and dumbfounded. They could not utter a word. They simply stood there and stared. So, dear students, now we'll see the difficult words from this paragraph. Now, the one is, that is willows. Willows means a tree or shrub of temperate climate. Yes, the next one is Alders. Alders means a widely distributed tree of the birch family, which have a toothed leaves. The next, yes, again this is rhododendrons. It is, you can say, a tree or a shrub with beautiful red flowers. Another is buttercups. What do you mean by buttercups? It's a kind of plant with bright yellow cup shaped flowers. It has a yellow cup shaped flowers, and those flowers are cup shaped. Then we'll just talk about the next word, and that word is gallon. Gallon means a unit of volume. And the next one is dumbfounded. Dumbfounded means stunned. When you are shocked, you don't know that what you have seen. You have seen something strange and you are very shocked at that time. That is called stunned. And the next word, that is, yes, it is utter. Utter means to express in words. Now, what is the explanation of these 3 paragraphs? See, further the author explained about his chocolate room by saying that near river banks graceful trees and bushes grew. There you could see tree or shrub of temperate climate, tree with red flowers, and on a piece of grassland there were thousands of plants with bright yellow cup-shaped flowers. Mr. Wonka started dance and pointed towards his gold-topped cane at the great brown river. He further explained that every drop of river is hot melted chocolate and said that this factory is having that enough chocolate that can fill all swimming pool of the country and bathtub also. The chocolate is sucked up by pipes and carried to the room within an hour, and thousands of gallons were carried. Children and their parents were amazed and stunned after watching this, and they were simply staring there because they were surprised to see all that which they didn't see earlier in their life. Thank you.